you're ready. Shane's through asking questions. Okay, guys, y'all know we're all here, and Ms. Hurst is going to be our recorder. We've also brought in Lily and Shane Calvert as our student and parent stakeholders. They are the family of Mrs. Calvert, one of our fourth grade teachers. You guys all know them. Shane works at our school also as our local firefighter slash resource helper. So what we're going to do today is we're going to look at Ames Web reading data for fourth grade. And this assignment was supposed to be overall the growth in fourth grade, but the only two classes that I was able to receive information on from Mr. Weathers was my class and Ms. Hurst's class, as we are team teachers. So the first thing that we're going to do is look at the demographics of Oxford Elementary School. We have approximately 750 students in grades pre-K through fourth grade. Around 67% of our students receive free or reduced lunches. We are located in central Oxford, so we service all of the students from the intersection right there at Quintard where the mall is down to Cecile Drive and towards Coldwater. So that is our general region. We have around 40 general education teachers and then 20 supporting teachers, and those would be our title teachers, our music and librarian, also, any other special education teachers or gifted teachers that we have. So we have a pretty large staff here at Oxford Elementary. And we're going to look at what Ames Web data measures. First, for fourth grade, it measures student use of vocabulary, their silent reading fluency, reading comprehension, and then oral reading fluency. There are two places that here at Oxford Elementary and in our system that we look at most, and that is our silent reading fluency and our oral reading fluency. I know that Danielle told us earlier in our meeting this morning with our school-wide meeting that the comprehension piece may be something that we opt not to use in the future, because we do have other programs like STAR that gives us more validity on where our students are and what they're able to do as far as their reading levels and lexile levels. And this is just a glimpse of our data, so that way Shane, you and Lily are a little bit familiar with what we look at. We do have this bar graph kind of theme. And of course, the orange are kids that need the most intense intervention. Our yellow kids are the ones that are almost there. They may just need that extra teacher support. If they are in the green overall, then those are the ones that we work with in our classrooms. They're not pulled out usually for research-based intervention or for special education or Title I services. Those are more our skill-specific kids that may just have some issues getting to those benchmarks. And then of course our blue and green, our teal and blue students are those that are exceeding in each area of reading. And this is just to give them a view kind of how that flows. Okay, so what does this data mean to us? Looking at our overall data for Ames Web this year, we found out that there were changes in our CIP objectives or goals due to accuracy. And Danielle, will you tell us a little bit about the decision that was made?
Please come to the library to check out. Ms. Tomlin,
Yes.
come to the library to check out.
We looked historically at where the students their accuracy has been over probably about the last 5 years, and we noticed that we were meeting that goal consistently and exceeding that goal even beyond what we were setting historically. So we decided that we wouldn't lose our focus with that. We would continue to monitor it at the classroom and school level, but we would not include it as one of our CIP objectives, because it seemed like whatever we were doing was working for that.
Okay, and we do have that historical trend data that accuracy is one of our strengths, especially here in fourth grade. And so we were able to kind of, like Danielle said, continue to monitor that piece, but we're not going to drill down, and that's not going to be one of our major focuses for improvement anymore. It gives us the opportunity to change instruction. One good thing about Ames Web Data is that we, the teachers, do progress monitoring. We're able to set that up based on students' needs, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly. I personally like to progress monitor all of my kids weekly. It is time consuming, but research tells us the more practice, the better. And Ms. Wanda, if you want to come in, you can join us.
I just want to say thank you all.
You're welcome, dear.
You
But it does give us the opportunity to change instruction because it is a benchmark assessment. So in between those benchmarks, we are able to drill down and provide students with what they need in the areas of vocabulary, that silent reading fluency, comprehension, and oral reading fluency. It also gives us an idea of a growth model. It shows us where our students started and then where they ended. I heard Mr. Weathers say in our meeting a little while ago that some students were looked at for retention, and when going back and looking at their growth, it wasn't beneficial to the child to retain them. So they were making adequately yearly progress in the areas of reading and math through the Ames Web Data to show that they are going to need more support the next school year, but they're not going to need to repeat third grade or second grade or whatever. And then it also helps to continue instructional support for us as teachers. Because if I'm not strong in the area of vocabulary, then maybe there's some professional development that I need to take on for me to be a better teacher to help my kids. And then of course our celebrations, our accuracy, Danielle told us a little bit about that. The student growth that Mr. Weathers talked about this morning, and then our oral reading fluency. We were just below meeting our CIP goal. And I mean, one or two more kids and it would have bumped us right up there.
We set
Yes.
the CIP goal high so that.
And that's true because most of the others that did oral reading fluency, I noticed that they chose 75% and we shot for the moon and chose 80%. So we were a little ambitious on that, and then, you know, when you're dealing with percentages, one or two kids kind of makes or breaks you. Okay? And then our needs. One thing that we need to do is look at intervention delivery. We talked to Mr. Weathers about that in our meeting, and the number of days and weeks out of the school year that our interventionists are pulled away from their reading intervention programs that they've been trained on and assigned to do high stakes testing or even benchmark testing. And then another area that we need to continue to look at is the comprehension piece, because we sometimes see differences in what the data is telling us and then what our report cards are telling us with that standards-based grading. All right, do you guys have any questions or additions or anything like that? How do you feel, Mr. Calvert, coming in from a parent perspective and looking at, I know Lily is leaving 5th grade this year, but knowing that this is what is kind of looked at based on her placement at CE Hannah this year.
Looks good.
Okay, Lily, anything you want to say? You're used to all of this testing. Is it too much, not enough, too little? Too much. At least you're honest about it. Yes, that's what all the kids say. Okay, thank you guys.